everyone, and a big welcome to all the dynamic business women and men out there joining us today. A special thank you goes out to Michelle Elmas-Hardy for inviting me. I'm super excited to be with you. So today we're going to be looking into an essential aspect of networking success, the elevator pitch, or what some people know as the elevator speech. If you have a pen and paper handy, great. If not, no worries. I'll be providing information at the end of today's presentation for how to get an elevator speech template so that you can easily create what we look at today. All right, so make yourselves comfortable and we'll get started. I'm Jennifer Martin with Zest Business Consulting. I help solopreneurs and small business owners all over the world build soul-satisfying lives and businesses that thrive. After owning 5 businesses of my own, I created Zest Business Consulting to help other small business owners learn how to create a financially rewarding business and have the time and energy they want to enjoy their lives. I think I have one of the best jobs on earth because I get to help people get out of overwhelm and stop working more than 40 hours a week. And the best part is then they get to start living their dreams. I adore all my clients, and I even sent you all kind of my heartfelt love before we even got here, so thanks for coming. I'd love to learn more about your businesses and hear the winning elevator pitches you create. At the end of today's presentation, I'll share my contact information so that we can keep in touch. So, thank you again for joining me. You ready to get started? So has anyone ever asked you, what do you do, and immediately your stomach turns into knots, your upper lip starts sweating, and your brain goes to mush? And even though you've been asked this question 100 times before, you just blurt out the first answer you come up with, like, I'm in marketing, or I work at an office, or maybe I'm a psychologist. Well, if this sounds like you, don't worry. We've all been there, including me, and there is an easy way out. Just a few years ago when I left eMyth and started Zest Business Consulting, I was really out of practice. For the first time in years, I was selling my own services again, and I have to say I was pretty rusty. Every time someone asked me, so what do you do? Oh my gosh, I just went frozen, and then I'd blurt out, I'm a business coach. What I really wanted them to feel and know was that I'm here to help them make money, get more clients, and enjoy more of their lives. But this is what they heard. So you know, if you're talking to people and they're not listening and they're only hearing through their filter, it doesn't always do you the best service. When they heard I'm here to take your money instead of I'm here to help you make money, it was the exact opposite of the message I wanted to send. Well, I know I lost many opportunities in that first month to connect with my ideal clients because I wasn't clear about who I wanted to work with or what it was that I was offering. I forgot how to share what I offered in an interesting and dynamic way so that the people I was talking to not only listened, but they could follow along and consider if they were right for me or if they knew someone who needed my services. Thankfully, it didn't take me long after doing a lot of networking to figure things out. And you know what? Once you get the recipe for success, networking and sharing your elevator pitch can be really easy, really. So today we're going to take a good look into not only what makes an effective elevator speech, but how to set yourself up for success so that the next time you're asked to do what you do, you'll be ready to magnetically attract your future clients. And here's the great news. You already have everything you need to create a captivating and effective elevator pitch. Woohoo! So we'll be looking at the nuts and bolts of how to create an effective elevator pitch. We'll talk about the do's and don'ts to help you understand better what works and what kind of things you should completely avoid, and then also how to get into a productive mindset. And then we'll break down the dynamics of 2 simple and effective elevator pitches so that the next time someone asks you, "So, what do you do?" you'll be ready. I know you've heard of an elevator pitch, but if you're new to networking or business networking, here's a quick overview. An elevator pitch, also known as an elevator speech, is a quick introduction to you or your business and the products or services that you offer. Think of it as kind of like a short verbal business card that tells the other person or the person you're talking to what you do, what you offer, who you do it with, in other words, who your ideal clients are, and why they should hire you. And this is actually where you tell them something really compelling that will help them say yes. Some people can use an elevator pitch for getting funding for their business, and others use it as a way to introduce themselves if they're looking for a job. But today we're going to focus on the elevator pitches or elevator speeches for business professionals who are looking to connect with new clients. So did you notice that when I explained what the elevator pitches were, that in each time I said quick? Generally, an elevator pitch takes anywhere from 10 seconds to 2 minutes. And ideally, you'll want to connect with the person you're talking to from the very first sentence. And this way, when your mouth goes open and close, they're not hearing blah, blah, blah. What they are hearing is, "Oh my God, that's so exciting, tell me more." And that's exactly what we're shooting for with a great elevator pitch. So let's quickly look into some do's and don'ts, or in this case, some don'ts and then some do's later. So don't tell someone what you are, like I'm an accountant, I'm a chiropractor, I'm a virtual assistant. I learned this the hard way. It's just not interesting enough for people to remember, and generally it only gives them a tiny glimpse into what you actually do. There's nothing about this type of answer that's going to set you apart from the hundreds or maybe thousands of other people that are doing the same thing. Plus, it can be boring, and no one wants to be boring. Stay away from the $10 words. Keep in mind that you want to make what you say simple enough so that anybody can understand it. Because sometimes you might not be talking to your ideal client, but someone who they know. So keep it really simple. You don't have to worry about making an impression with them with the big words. Wait till you get to know them. Also, another thing to keep in mind is try to stay away from any slang or industry terms. Again, this helps people make a connection to you, and that way they'll understand you even if they're not in your same industry. Stay away from being in the sales mode. In 10 seconds or a 30-second elevator pitch, it's not about closing them and making a deal. It's about getting to know them and making a connection. So do your best just to get to know them. It's that simple. So we said in the beginning to stay away from telling them what you are, but also stay away from generically telling them what you do. Like as a real estate agent, someone might say, "Oh, I sell houses." Or an accountant or a bookkeeper might say, "Oh, I offer bookkeeping services." Well, guess what? So do a lot of people. And that might not be compelling enough or a compelling enough reason for someone to say yes to you. So stay far away from telling them what you do. And remember, don't talk too long without checking in. You know what I mean? That was me checking in with you. Try to create a two-way conversation rather than a monologue. Well, so what do you do if you want to stand out in the crowd? Well, you could dress like a chihuahua in a giraffe costume, but that might not be the most professional thing to do at a networking event. But who knows? Maybe it would. But there's probably some ideas that are a little bit more realistic that will help you get noticed and help people pay attention so that they're hearing that excited feeling rather than the blah, blah, blah. So here's a quick outline of some elevator pitch do's, the things you want to do. Remember to keep a strong first 10 seconds. You need to make an impression on them when you really first start talking, because they need to know right away if you've got something to offer for them. Keep your conversation really brief and conversational. Share with them what you do and then ask a question. The sooner you get engagement, the better. Does that make sense? That was another question to keep you engaged. So remember with them. That's a sales term for what's in it for me. And in this case, it's really with it, what's in it for them. So remember to present yourself in a way that's going to be interesting to your audience and share with them right up front what you have to offer that might be interesting for them. Get into a productive mindset about networking. Be ready to connect with your ideal clients or the people who know them. And be prepared to have a few quick success stories that will help illustrate how you can bring value to your potential customers. A few obvious: do dress professionally, do make eye contact, and do love what you do. Because if you're not doing something that you actually enjoy and you don't actually really believe in the product or service you represent, they'll be able to smell it on you a mile away. And that's not good. So now you've got a good sense of what to do, and you're probably wondering where to start. So let's take a look at how to build your elevator pitch in 4 easy steps. If you don't have something to write with now, you can push pause on this video and then come back and hit play when you've got what you need. Or you can listen and watch now and then sign up for my newsletter at the end of the webinar, and you can receive a copy of an easy elevator pitch template so that you can complete it later. Are you ready? So the first step is remembering that you want to create your impact in the very first 10 seconds. Your audience needs to know right away if what you have to tell them is for them, and they want to start identifying who it is that you help, and try to be as specific as possible. For example, if you're a chiropractor, your ideal client might be people in pain. But maybe more specifically, you love working with men over 40 with back pain. So that's what you want to establish. If you're a life coach who helps women return to the workforce after a lot of time off with their families, awesome, then great, write that down. I work with overwhelmed and frustrated business owners. Who do you work with? If you know the answer, write it down now. In step 2, the next thing you want to do is give some thought to the really big, hairy problems or little cute and fluffy problems that your ideal client or target market has. Specifically, consider the challenges that you, your product, or your service helps to solve. Think about their emotions and how they're suffering, if they are suffering, and identify what they're feeling before they start working with you. For an example, if you're a social media expert and the clients you love working with generally don't have enough time to devote to posting things on social media channels, then you might identify their problem as not enough time, or maybe more specifically, if they're looking for marketing, not enough clients. You also might want to say that they don't understand how to manage their social media in order to get results. So do you have a good feeling for the problem your clients have? If you know, write it down now. In step 3, we want you to give some thought to what are your customers losing as a result of this problem or challenge. In other words, what is the pain that they have now that will compel them to do something or actually buy from you? Are they losing money? Do they find that they don't have enough time in their day? Are they tired of getting mediocre customer service? If you know the answer for this as it relates to your business, write it down now. So here's the fun part. Here's where you sweep in and save the day. What's the greatest benefit you, your business, your product, or service offers to your customers? Think about what they will get as a result of working with you. If you were a time management coach, you might identify that your clients feel really overwhelmed because they feel like their life is slipping away, or maybe that they're losing sleep at night worrying about everything that they have to do. I actually hear this a lot in my work. If what you can bring them is peace of mind or more time to do what they love, or maybe an organized system to help them make the most of their working day, then that's your solution. So if you can think of what kind of satisfaction that you, your business, or your product or service brings to your client, jot the answer now. So wasn't that easy? That's all you need to create your very first dynamic, effective elevator pitch. So let's see what happens when you put all these things together. You know how when, that's where you insert your ideal client, experiences their biggest problem and they experience their pain or challenge? Well, I help them overcome the challenges so that they can get what they really want. And here's my example. So you know how small business owners feel really frustrated and overwhelmed because they're working too many hours and they feel like their business is sucking the life out of them? Well, I help them figure out what they need to do to grow their business and reprioritize their lives so that they can have financial freedom and the time and energy to enjoy their lives. See, it was easy. So we're going to look at a second variation just to keep it interesting, because sometimes you might have two different niches or you'll go to different places that you don't want to make the exact elevator speech exactly the same every time. So let's look at the second variation. The first thing you want to do is identify your ideal clients. So this one's kind of a gimme because you already did some deep soul searching on this one. So just write down again what you came up with so that you'll have your information handy. The second step is capturing the results that you work to bring your clients. So think about what it is that you bring to them. And psst, here's a secret. It's the same answer as step 4 from before. See? I told you this was easy. So in step 3, you want to think about what you do to help your clients uniquely, and think about the promise that you'll deliver to them. If you sell office supplies that has a same-day delivery option, then you could say that you deliver products when your clients need them most, every time, if that's what you do. Or if you offer software that helps track your marketing efforts, you might say, we help you understand what to do when, so you can increase your revenues without overspending on marketing that doesn't work. Do you know what your answer is? Take a moment and write it down now. Okay, so let's see if we can put this all together to see how it goes. Do you know a fill in the blank who would like to fill in the blank with what they really want? Well, I help people like that so that they can get more of what they really want. And here's a sample I sometimes use. Do you know a small business owner who would like to take more vacations, spend more time with their family, and feel like they have more freedom to do what they want to do? Well, I help people like that close the gap between what their business looks like now and what they really want it to be, so that they can have a business that thrives and a soul-satisfying life. Now you try it. I can't wait to hear what you come up with. And here's one option. Sometimes you'll be in a business setting where you'll have, guess what, a whole minute to share what you do with a big group of other professionals. So you'll go from that 10 to 30-second infomercial into something a little bit longer. And the best way to do that is to be able to share a little sample of your success. And that might be just a little glimpse into one of your past clients' successes that they've had as a result of working with you. This is the one that I sometimes use in my business. After I tell them what they do, I say, well, you know how some business owners are really great at what they do but not so hot at finding customers? Well, what I do is I help them fine-tune their marketing efforts so that they only spend time on the actions that actually get them new clients. In fact, one of my new clients has been in business for about 8 months, and when he came to me, he had never made a sale yet. And after working together for only 6 weeks, he closed not only his very first sale, but his second sale too, which was really amazing. And another guy I've been coaching who is averaging about $5,000 a month in revenues, well, last month he sold more than $16,000 worth of new business. This guy was totally blitzed because he'd been in business for 17 years and he had never earned more than $10,000 in any 30-day period. I have to say, it was awesome. Can you imagine increasing your revenues more than 300% in just 30 days? So if I didn't mention it, asking a question at the end of your elevator pitch is a great way to engage the person you're speaking to and to get them thinking about how your product or service might impact their lives or the lives of your ideal client. It's a great way to open the door into deeper discussion. So, now you've got a few options ready for creating a killer elevator pitch. And there's a few other things that you can do to really set yourself up for success. So let's take a quick look. Well, if you're here today, you're 10 steps ahead. You've already received information so that you can put together an amazing elevator pitch. So guess what? You're a winner. Awesome. Before you go into a networking event, you want to get your Zen on. Do whatever you like to do to ground yourself in the present and connect to everything around you. Just stopping for 2 minutes to close your eyes and take 10 deep breaths can make the difference between you being perceived as a calm, comfortable, confident provider of value and a shifty snake salesman. So relax a little bit before you go into any networking event to make your connections. On your drive there, try not to multitask. I don't know about you, but where I live, if you're putting on makeup, talking on the telephone, and drinking a cup of coffee while you're driving, that is a big invitation for a ticket, plus probably a stressful drive. So give yourself enough time to get to your appointment safely so that you'll be relaxed when you arrive, because you don't want to be all rushed and stressed out. One of the best things that you can do to prepare is write down your elevator pitch and practice it before you go live. You might want to stand in front of the mirror and actually say your pitch out loud as if you were talking to someone at a networking event. I know that might seem like a little weird, but the way that we write down on paper isn't always the way that we talk. So you want to try it out to make sure that you would actually feel comfortable saying what you wrote in a real live scenario. Make sure that the words that you use are friendly and approachable, because we really do our best business with people that we treat like friends, so talk to them like a friend. That's a great way to get yourself in the right mindset as you're practicing. Another thing to do before you go into the event is give some thought to 3 success stories that you've been a part of or that are as a result of doing the work that you do. You want to remember what it is that's so valuable that you have to share. And remember how awesome you are too. Before you go in to meet with people, a great tip can be recommitting yourself to be open for business and ready to connect with clients. This really small shift just to be ready to meet people can make a world of difference in how well or how easily you magnetically attract potential clients and how excited they are to get to know you. So when you walk into your networking event, and if you have ever been to a big event where you just see tons and tons of people, if this is not your natural scenario, give yourself some time to really get prepared and to be able to show up with confidence. And if this means standing there in the entry pretending you're doing something on your telephone while you're just taking a couple deep breaths and really just gearing up to go, or maybe running into the bathroom to hide out for 5 minutes, do whatever you need so that you can be ready to make some connections with the best version of you available. And if you're not always comfortable in social situations, a lot of networking events make it easy for you if you ask. So as you go to check in, let someone know it's your first time to an event, even if it's really not, and see if they have someone available to help introduce you around. This way you can have someone else making the introductions, and then you can just focus on your elevator pitch. The last thing you want to keep in mind is just to smile and make eye contact and be yourself. You're a real person, so don't pretend to be fake happy or fake friendly or fake nice or fake anything. Just show up with the best version of yourself. You're already going to be remembering how awesome you are. You're already going to be remembering how valuable your products or services are to people. So just get out there and share them with people. So, what are you waiting for? You've got 2 recipes for creating your elevator pitch and a number of tips, tricks, and techniques to help set you up for success. So go get 'em, Tiger. I can't wait to hear how you did. Well, again, I'm Jennifer Martin with Zest Business Consulting. I hope you found today's presentation helpful. If you would like to learn more about our web-based marketing program to help you get more money, more clients, and more life in just 6 weeks, or to learn about our Kiss, Overwhelm, and Overwork Goodbye 6 months to your next vacation program and cruise, business coaching, or any of our services, we'd love to hear from you. So let's stay connected. I said in the beginning that we're happy to offer you a free elevator pitch template in exchange for signing up for our newsletter. You can also get 10 easy tips to get out of overwhelm and feel more balanced at work just for signing up. You can come directly to our website at www.zestbusinessconsulting.com, or you can use our bit.ly address shown here, http://bit.ly/zest-free-download. If you want to give us a call directly, we're always happy to hear from you at 805-669-7160. That's in the U.S. Or you can email direct at success@zestbusinessconsulting.com. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure to connect with all of you today, and I can't wait to hear how your elevator pitches and your successes go. Thank you.